What is up, guys? It's Luke here. I'm here today to talk about nutrition myths and facts. And some of them are true, and some of them are just myths that are just passed down stories from generation to generation. Ooh, it just got really sunny. Awesome. So I've got a bag of tricks here with me, full of a bunch of different foods that I want to talk about that are either healthy and you don't know it, or they're not healthy and you need to know it. So first off, I'm going to start with bananas. Now this banana is actually looking kind of rough, but I'm not here to say bananas aren't good for you. Bananas are great for you, but a lot of people will say bananas are the only sort of food that you can get high amounts of potassium from, which is actually simply not true. The majority of vegetables and fruits that you'll find out there have high sources of potassium in them. In fact, bananas really don't even have the highest amount of potassium in them. A banana this size has about 400 to 500 milligrams of potassium in it, whereas an average size avocado has over 1,000 milligrams of potassium in it. So bananas are great for you, but the fact that they're the only fruit that you can get a good source of potassium from is a myth. Next, for someone who grew up struggling with acne and then also just overall wanted to be healthy, is chocolate. Now I love chocolate, so chocolate was always a hard thing for me to avoid growing up and is still even really now. But the fact that chocolate is bad for your skin and for people who have acne problems is actually not true. The rumor that chocolate and acne correlate together are simply just rumors that have been passed down. It doesn't have any sufficient evidence to it. And along with that, in fact, dark chocolate, like the dark chocolate I have here, it is actually really good for you because it helps maintain good cholesterol level and it has multiple acids and plant-based nutrients in it. So dark chocolate, good. Next up are energy bars. You think of energy bars and you immediately would assume, okay, it's gonna give me energy, there's probably a lot of good things in it, but it's good for me. Nearly every single energy bar will claim this, but they have a lot of nutritional similarities to that of candy bars. And that kind of sounds crazy, but if you read and look at the back of some of the nutritional facts, you'll see that an energy bar will have just as much sugar or even some salt as candy bars. Now that's not saying you should just completely get rid of energy bars altogether. That just means that you've got to keep a look at the nutritional facts to an energy bar. You can't just see that it says an energy bar in it and then just assume it'll be perfect for you. Next up are potatoes. One of my favorite carbs. I love mashed potatoes, but also considered something that if you're trying to lose weight, you need to keep out of your diet because it's so starchy. The truth is actually consuming a potato and potato skin is actually really good to obtain a lot of different fibers and even some potassium. You can also get vitamin C, vitamin B6, and a few other different vitamins from the potato skin. It kind of makes me want to bite into this potato like they do in Ireland, just like an apple. Okay, I should probably wash it first. Well, oh gosh. Okay, I'm doing it. I hate it that it's actually not that bad. It's kind of bland, but I'm actually really proud of myself. This actually isn't bad. Next up, I want to talk about muffins. Muffins is a very common go-to snack just to grab on the go, and it's something you can eat while you're driving, something you can eat at work in between jobs and things like that, because a lot of muffins are low fat. And I mean, come on, muffins look so delicious in the morning. But just because something is low fat, that doesn't necessarily make it healthy. Really, when something says low fat, you really have to look deeper into the product, because if a manufacturer makes something that says low fat, chances are they most likely also then put something else in it that's not very natural to make it taste better, and that something is usually sugar. It's kind of weird to think that you could have a full-on fatty muffin. It's kind of weird to say fatty muffin. Fatty muffin. A regular muffin, there we go, and a low-fat muffin, and really they're actually the same caloric value, because with the low-fat muffin, they probably put in a lot of sugars to make up for the lack of taste. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean that every single muffin out there that's low-fat is now lacking in flavor or has a bunch of sugar put into it. That just means you gotta look at the labels, make sure that it's not one of those that does that. All right, and to throw a drink on here, surprisingly enough, I'm talking about beers and ciders. Now, even I thought that the last thing I would be talking about right now would be beers and ciders, but next time you're cracking a cold one open with the boys, you can technically pat yourself on the back because you're doing your heart actually a favor. There have been a lot of studies shown online on various different websites that drinking about a pint of beer or ciders a day can lower your risks of stroke, heart attack, and other heart-related diseases by up to 30%. And that doesn't mean you go buy a 12-pack, down it in an hour, and then send your buddy out to get more. That means you still drink responsibly, drink in moderation, and drink at the legal age. The last thing I want to leave you guys with is actually a general fact that doesn't pertain to any specific food. The last myth I want to discuss with you guys is about eating late at night and that it can cause weight gain. There's actually very little evidence that connects eating late at night with weight gain. You might be thinking then, where does this myth come from if it doesn't have any truth to it? This myth actually derives from overeating and eating too many calories in one day. Essentially, it is bad to eat late at night if you've already eaten the amount of calories for that day that you allow yourself. Let's say you miss dinner or you miss a certain time that you were supposed to eat, and then it becomes 9 or 10 p.m. Since you're low on the calories you need for that day, it's fine to eat them. It doesn't make it or break it that you then eat it 2 or 3 hours later than normal. But if you already had all of the meals and all of the snacks for that day that you had planned beforehand, and then you come by 9 or 10 p.m. and decide you want more snacks or dessert or something, then that's a different story, because then that's extra calories you're adding onto your eating schedule. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all learned something, and I hope I debunked one of those myths that you at one time believed, but now know is false. Please check out Warhawk Fitness and Aquatics on all of our different social media platforms. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and as always, be proud but never satisfied. See you guys later.